Hi everyone, good morning. What a good morning it is. First one to be on the dais, and I'll make sure that we are keeping every one of you engaged. Okay, the topic for us today, it's not just about sustainability related to engineering or architecture. What we are getting into a deep and trying to figure it out that what exactly sustainability means for the clients, for the occupiers, for the tenants. Does it really mean any value to it or not? That's what we are trying to figure it out. I remember when I started my real estate career, that time sustainability was not something which was discussed in forum. Then we moved into an era where sustainability became a kind of differentiator, that some of the buildings are sustainable, some of them are not. But now it has become a kind of must-have. Sustainable buildings which doesn't have certification probably are not being appreciated by the occupiers. We'll discuss this more, but yes, that's the kind of general sentiment. But yes, we still need to try to figure it out that how much value does it add? Or it is still a buzzword, or it is a tick in the annual report, or it really means value. To discuss this, we have this eminent panel on the board. And to start off the discussion, probably Dr. Mala with you. When we talk about demand movers, that yes, demand is moving towards sustainable buildings. Do we have the data to support this fact, or this is still a fad for us? How much data is supporting this?
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. As you rightly said that sustainability is not a differentiator, it's a default actually. So it is must, you rightly said. And if you see because I represent IGBC CII, if you see the growth momentum in the country of green building, in 2001, there was just one building in the country. And today in IGBC, we have 14 billion square feet construction footprint, which are transforming green certifications processes, and they are registered and they are certifying.
What would be the India number?
14 billion, I am saying, square feet. So this is huge. That doesn't include commercial only, but it has residential, it has healthcare, hospitality, then your infrastructure projects like warehouse, logistics industry, and I would say each and every part of the sectors. So it's so inclusive ecosystem that all the rating systems are 32 rating systems we have. So they are acting as a guiding tool, for all the stakeholders for their transformation process. So as you ask about the demand, I would say this is a positive note I'm trying to put here, that there's a huge demand now, especially in the commercial sector. If we talk about, I think your Anarock report I was going through, your research report, well, it's a very recent report, in fact, from your institution itself. So 65%, I think, growth, we can see that, your tenants are demanding for the green certification. I think the reason behind that is their policies, which are more green, more sustainability, definition, they are coming up with their objectives, goals, aspirations are becoming net zero. So that is also, giving a push towards adoption of these green guidelines in their, let us say it's a small space or it is a complete building, it doesn't matter, irrespective of any size. And also the global demand, the global investors who are coming to India and they are investing here, so they are also demanding, like multinational companies. They also want sustainable spaces and green spaces, because they have understood that health and well-being is a very, very good, a very important component. So it is not something just building looks green certified, but when you are inside the building, so how comfortable you feel, from thermal comfort point of view, from indoor air quality is very important. So there are a lot of, I think, aspects we can define in the green building. So that is surging the demand, because people want to have a good health, especially after the COVID, everyone has realized that we need building green, not from the design perspective, but in the operational way also, and how we can give more push towards the eco-conscious and the eco-friendly materials, interior works. So that is taking a big demand.
It's encouraging to see that now we are moving into different segments of real estate also when it comes to green buildings.
Exactly.
Yeah, good say. You want to
just to add a few data points, 68% of the global brands, companies, they have pledged to, reinforce the green norms in their offices. And out of that, 40% of them are already occupying the green offices. That is one data point. Second is the green premium. People are willing to pay almost 10% green premium on the rentals. This is the discovery that over the last year people are having. And the brown discounting. Does everybody understand what's brown discounting? Brown discounting is when you have an office which is not coming up to norms, you are forced to give it at a lower rental, or they are more vacant, their vacancy numbers are higher. So this trend has started now in India. The vacancy trends are starting with the frequency of 5% every year add-on. This is the kind of trend which is on. So this clearly shows that the bias is now coming towards.
Good to see that now it's no more about the green premium. We are talking about the green discounting. That
brown
shows
discounting.
That brown discounting. Now that shows that we are moving towards a maturity phase, I would say. Yeah, good to see. Tripti, actually, you coming from the developer perspective, from your point of view, when you receive the client briefs, do you think so that sustainability aspect is a cherry on the cake, or it has become the cake itself?
No, I think there is definitely a shift towards green buildings, moving from being a nice to have to now being one of the must-haves. It's a deal breaker in many cases. And just adding one or two quick data points, we see that Anarock's report, again, coming back to Anarock's recent report, in H1 2025, about over 70% of office leasing that has happened has been of green certified assets. And we've also heard about the kind of supply that there exists today, green supply. Commercial alone would be over about 500 million square feet across the country. The largest demand drivers for green buildings are, GCCs or a lot of ITES companies. So MNCs, even service providers to global companies are taking these decisions because it is, one, compliance related, it meets their long-term commitments, net zero commitments, and it is also a matter of reputation. So the decision is linked to reputation as well. And in India, as we know, because of the BRSR framework by SEBI, the top 1,000 Indian companies that are listed are expected to, share their ESG information. And because of that, also, we see a lot of large Indian corporates ramping up their sustainability mandates and bringing it into their decision making. So in our RFPs, we do notice that ESG wellness is definitely a criteria. A lot of inputs are requested in terms of, sustainability initiatives, integration of renewable energy, wellness, energy efficiency, etc. And one can say, at least what we are seeing is over 75% leasing requirements that are coming to us are focusing on green features. So
what do you think that, when the demand is moving towards the green building, from where this push is coming? Is it the occupier? Is it the regulator? From where this push is coming? You mentioned about SEBI norms and all. So where the push is coming in?
I think it is a very interrelated ecosystem. So on one hand, we have regulators, then we have investors. Investors are also investing in, assets that meet the sustainability mandates that their LPs have. And then we have occupiers, they have their global mandates, commitments. It's a cohesive ecosystem that is bringing this push together.
If I can add, it's both a push and a pull. It's something like when a new product comes in the market. I remember those days in my younger days when the color TV came in. So initially, it's a drive by the system to push it down slightly and see the response. And when the people own it, people start liking it, people start enjoying the experience, people start seeing more meaning to it, then the pull starts. So while last few years were the push phase, now you will see the pull phase. It's the tenants which will lead the demand. It is the occupiers which will demand the kind of transparency into the savings, into the green kind of ecosystem being created, and that will itself authenticate a lot of inputs you need for your reporting.
So, Mr. Narang, just from the occupier perspective, actually, would you consider, or the occupiers, are we moving into a phase where you or your fellow colleagues are ready to give a no or pass on to a building if it is not a green certified?
Yes, in fact, it has happened. My own office, the main corporate office, we had a higher occupancy rate coming in, and that building could not suffice for the kind of occupation required. So we had a choice. When we started seeing the alternatives available to us, we had few alternatives right bang opposite our corporate office, which was so attractive, you know. Anybody in the earlier frame of thought would have thought कि यार ये बाजू में office है, चलते हैं, it will become so synced with our own operations.
Location.
But then we went for a green office which was 2 kilometers away or 3 kilometers away. So we made a choice. I think that choice is going to come. People are going to, invest in that kind of a thought, because that is going to lead not only to your own brand enhancement, because every brand would like to be, known for its putting the money where the thing is.
That's very interesting thought. In fact, I will leave this to Mr. Senthil. So, you also represent a large developer in the country, and in terms of the demand, what you receive, this requirement for sustainability, green buildings, that is more from the global MNCs, or you see Indian corporates also do walk the talk?
Yeah, good morning. This requirement, which is actually we regularly get it from different agencies or local players, it is not like discriminating, it is only MNC, it is more on corporates. In Indian culture, corporates are well matured and they are demanding for it. And by MNCs, even though actually the MNC, they are supposed to represent Indian ecosystem. So by default, that is actually there in place since from the beginning.
But in terms of requirement, do you see a change that, okay, global demands more?
No. Indian demands are more.
Oh,
Yeah. Actually, global demands always lies, but that is not a major stakeholder. But Indian demands are more, and now they are making a note that this is actually one of the tick mark for choosing, like how we choose it.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting to know. What I feel that sustainability is something like yoga. Everyone feels that this is important. This has to be done. I know it, but out of the work group, I seriously don't know how much we know that how to stretch, how yoga means how much to stretch and all. That's how I feel that in terms of the learning curve, we are in terms of sustainability. So Mala, actually coming back to you on this. So when we say that market is maturing, people are learning, but do occupiers understand realize the value of this? When I say, are they able to differentiate what sustainability standards are? For example, how LEED could be different from IGBC or Wired Score or Well Score. What I've seen that most of the developers just go ahead and say that I need to have certifications. But for the occupiers or for the market, do they understand the difference?
Yeah, Abhishek, I think let us just understand first. There are two kind of, one is a supply, green building supply in the market from the real estate players. When they give a core and shell structure, either there is a single tenant who will operate the entire building, or either they will be multi-tenants. So I think you are working on the sustainability aspect at the infrastructure level. So it's entire building, associated infra, environmental infra into that. So that's little easy, when you have green certification, then you occupy that space as a tenant or you are taking it on lease. So it becomes little easy for you because your roots, your basic green foundations are there because entire structure is already green certified.
But when I say green, do people understand this is light green or
Yeah.
this is dark green?
So I'm saying it is, one is the single owner occupied tenant is there. They must have their ESG mandates or policies. So they are trying to look into their policy integration in such a way through stakeholder engagement, where they are talking green, they are doing capacity building program and awareness like that to sensitize and involve all the stakeholders at the organization level. But when it comes to the multi-tenants, I think in those buildings still there are challenges. Because there is a one single facility management company and who's looking into all green aspects of the building, but how to communicate, and then everybody does, at their individual level. So like suppose there are multiple tenants in a building. So every tenant, they do their own sustainability practices within their scope of boundaries. So then they define their boundaries within their area, within their space. So how much fresh air they are getting, how much, water they are reducing, how much energy consumption they are doing, then this measurement and monitoring aspects comes into the picture. But definitely awareness, sensitization, that also depends upon the leadership, who's taking care of the entire governance. But I think regulator also plays a very important role here. So I think this surge, Raheja, people like ICICI Bank, they have their own, I think, establishment of their strong policies in place, ESG or taking green certification. But there is also push from the government through incentives also. Because there are a lot of policies which are already on the paper where builders get benefits and incentives. So that also gives the push, to construct more green buildings, green offices. So that is the one very important aspect. So,
do you see the demand coming in from the government sector? Government, yes, they do promote the private to construct more, but the infrastructure, supporting infrastructure to the private colonies or the private buildings has to be built by government. Do you think so? That is also becoming green?
Yeah, Abbishek, let me tell you the best part is if you see the current environmental regulations, when you have area above 20,000 square meter, I mean 2 lakh square feet, so you have a EIA clearance, So most of the infrastructure, environmental infrastructure requirements are already there. Without that, you will not get the OC of that building. So that is a good point, when you see at a macro level, entire your building. Because you have STP, you have, waste management, solar energy, as per the MOEF requirements and government regulations, I'm saying. But once it comes to the space is, your own premises, then it is your own, I would say, intent of the organization, how they look into all these, I would say, sensitizing their tenants, and they are also looking into the behavior approach. So that aspect also plays a very important role. And I have seen that in some of the small green spaces where they were going for the transformation process of taking green certification, HR department also plays a very important role here. So it is not always the engineers and architects, because they also look into the behavior approach of the tenants. So they also demand for the green, they want to really contribute for that. Because everyone, and there are some, award recognitions, or there are some green heroes, green barriers. So they have such program engagements.
Incentivization.
So that keep on, pushing them to do something which is very relevant to sustainability, I think so. Then they do it. I think this is always, how you take this intent, where is your boundary, and what you can do individually, or how the leadership is there. So there is a very big synergy between that.
Sure. So you're looking to add something to this, right?
Yes. See, few years back, tenants and occupiers and companies used to be feeling very good if there was a mere mention of a certification. You felt good, Acha, I'm in a LEED certified building. So those things are changing now. The tenants, the facility managers, the occupiers, the staff, everybody is becoming more mature. So when the occupiers are there in the building, they would interact with the various stakeholders, like admin staff and all. And these things are spreading now. Okay, this building is giving us, energy saving, and our bills have reduced. So that leads to more and more questions. So that is leading to rich awareness in that.
Sure. The more the stakeholders are getting involved into the system.
And regarding your question on government-related thing, I think one of the green certifications, if I'm not wrong, it's Griha or something? Griha. Griha is the only one which is giving post-occupation metrics as one of the criteria. So this now needs to come in a bit more. I think all the government plans, the government buildings, they are mandatory to be done by Griha. So that is one important aspect. And plus the facilities to the developers in terms of sustainability-linked loans and various foreign investors who are giving green loans.
Correct.
That is something which is also pushing this whole thing.
That's a very interesting thought, actually.
I think I need to counter one thing.
Okay, please.
So if you see the green certification program in India, even in LEED, IGBC, I will not point out one particular rating, but there is always a post-occupancy evaluation. There are always criteria like that. Even if you see the government tender specifications, etc. So equally, if you see the DCR of every state, all rating systems are defined equally there.
Okay,
So
maybe I was speaking from my experience of a few years ago. Maybe over the years things have improved.
No, I think there is a 300-page document for Government of Maharashtra, which clearly define that, all the benefits and all the mandates of green certification.
Learning for all of us.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Gupta, you are the one who is leading the change actually when it comes to, innovating with new products and all. So, while you are coming up with new products, how do you balance sustainability with the structural performance, knowing the fact that, okay, occupier CFO is looking at it?
Okay, so see, globally, now the old thinking was, I'm just talking about, let's say, start from the concrete, which is almost the 70 to 80% of any building construction requirement out of the other building materials. Earlier, the thought process was that it is only the strength. Everybody is looking for the strength, old thought of the strength. Now, this has now changed from strength to performance and the sustainability. How my concrete is going to be performance, high performance concrete, sustainable concrete. These kind of things are now evolving from last almost 10 years, I see, in the market. Now, in fact, authorities are also now saying the Indian standards, so 16700, the new code has come. They are also asking about the RCPT values. So RCPT values are the lower, so better is the performance of that particular concrete is there in terms of the chloride consumptions. So this is where the shift is now going to be there, and I'm happy that now everybody is aware about it. The big construction companies like Raheja, Godrej, all these are now asking, they are drafting their these specifications that is going to be the more sustainable and more performance. Along with the strength is anyway is the part of that there. So this is how this globally changes there. All companies are supporting them. In fact, my company has also come up with the various kind of green products and the high performance concrete and high performance product to support these things there.
You are holding a tough job. You are holding a tough job.
Yes, it's a tough and it's a very exciting one because, as I said that the concrete is the 70 to 80%. Correct. So when we are going for the certifications, Dr. Mala is here. So, so concrete makes a special point here. And it's a tough job because people are always thinking, earlier the consultants were writing their specifications and that only OPC. OPC is the pure cement there. And we know that the cement itself is one of the most polluting after steel. Correct. In this industry. And almost 1 ton of cement is, producing 1 ton of cement is approximately almost 900 to 1 ton of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which are various. One is that the chemical of this, the limestone, which is CaCO3. So when we burn, carbon dioxide directly go into the atmosphere. Plus some other, when we are operating the cranes and all these, lots of energies we are using there. So earlier, the consultants was asking, we want 100% OPC. The thought process, OPC is a good product there. Now, the blended cement trend from last 15 to 20 years has come in the market. The government also supported them. But people are now, still, sometimes people are looking for that, but it is changing there. So GGBS, fly ash, these kinds of, the SCMs are required substantially. Cementitious materials are now being using, and high volume fly ash is also being using. So this is how things are moving, and where the sustainability and the durability are taking care.
Interesting.
I would love to add here. So nowadays, it has become the ecosystem where you have green certified products, which is very much available in the market because it's a demand from the manufacturers also to become net zero, to become green certified. All the rating systems, they have green certified products. Particular to IGBC, we have more than 13,000 products which are green certified. So I need not to check whether how much recycled content or something like that. If a product supplier says, okay, I'm a green certified product, because we know that he has EPD value, he knows the life cycle assessment of his product, from cradle to cradle, he has applied all those specifications. So that gives me that justification.
In fact, from there I have an interesting thought. Probably you are the best person to add to value to it. But I feel that sustainability as a word, it is something like an Instagram filter. It always makes us look good, right? Yeah. So having a sustainable certificate, green certificate, that is something being used by developers also and by market just as a marketing tool, right? How to safeguard the market or the occupiers against this greenwashing?
Sure. I know this question is going to come to me. So let me tell you, builders have a benefit when they take the pre-certification, which is a design certification, okay, in the planning and design stage itself. So they start marketing whether they are platinum, gold or like that. But if builders, switch off that and they don't do the final certification, then entire intent is lost, right? So in that case, now regulators have also extra FSI provision, incentives are there, penalties are there. So if you are defining that you are pre-certified and you are putting a big hoarding that I'm platinum, silver, gold like that, but if you are not able to give that certificate to municipal authority before occupancy certificate you apply for, agencies are asking first you provide us a final certificate. That thing is happening.
Yes, yes.
So that means you have to ensure that all the green guards, all the green standards you have applied, and it's impactful and it is quantifiable and it has been evaluated, quantitative and all qualitative analysis has been done. And there is a third party audit, there is a site visit. So all these checks have been done. So I think that thing is now in the market, creating a positive impact that it is not a checklist compliance, but it is more based on the impact.
Right.
It's more on the impact.
Mr. Gupta, you were supposed to add something?
So I agree with her. It is more on the impact, and sometimes these builders and sometimes they are using this as a marketing tool, and I feel it is not bad to using it as a marketing tool to sell their project there. But they have to add values in the later stage also, and which that now the more stringent IGBC laws are coming there, and these things are there, so which are making the check out.
Yeah, there is a 6 monthly compliance reports and all these things are happening.
So in fact, I would like to have a developer perspective from both of you over here. Do you think so that, we are moving into an era, or we should move into an era where having a green certification should be a must for applying an occupancy certificate? At this moment, it's not must. It is good to have. But if it becomes mandatory,
no, for green certification, either within this country or outside, it is not like a luxury anymore. It is a mandatory. It is part of our specifications.
it is your specification.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying that without
even
that,
actually, when we develop, we wanted to be any developer. He wanted to be away from the common marketing tool where everybody is using with that race, and we want to be one more step ahead. So when we prepare a grade A buildings, and Raheja is having 5 big vertical like a hotel, mall, commercial, residential, and data centers. So we are specified earlier with only electromechanical specification, civil and structural. But now there is one more page added with sustainable. And this is whether clients are asking or not, we always build a building for next 20, 25 years. And post that, it is going to be a mandatory. It is not like anymore like, I'm building this, okay, tomorrow you come and add it. Earlier it was only a namesake, but now it is the people wanted to feel the building is made of with a green building material, which nobody even know that. I will only publish that this is green, platinum or gold or silver or certified. Whereas, it is hidden. But we are happy that, we have these provisions. Then the people are looking at where the living spaces are completely within the specifications what they are asked for it. Even then that indoor air quality or known carbon or VOC or the glare control, all are actually, now people may not be feel, but they are looking for it. So when we develop, we are, in fact, we have almost 99.9% of our buildings are green certified.
Tripti, your view?
So just adding to the conversation, I completely agree. It's very important to look at the full life cycle in terms of designing for a green asset, and then the construction practices being to a standard that is green certified. Beyond that, the ongoing performance as well. And that is also what occupiers, investors are particular about, to see how a building will actually perform. So certifications are important. They're tremendously important because they send the right signal to the community overall about the commitment of the developer to develop a green asset. But it goes beyond that. into the ongoing performance. And we see that occupiers also with their live dashboards are closely tracking their energy consumption, water usage, waste management systems, etc. And because of that, the kind of consumption trends and the savings, operational efficiencies, etc. So these kind of evidence-based performance, ongoing certifications that we spoke about are very important as well.
Got it.
I'll add something.
Yeah, please.
So, Abhishek, I feel that it is always case to case, okay? When you are building new, so you have a different approach. For the builder also, and for the what you are giving to tenants, that's also different. But when it comes to the operational side, you know, when suppose this is a hotel and I want to give it green certification, so that is a very different case. Because here your entire methodology changes, your standard changes. So there you find a lot of issues which is related to your retrofitting issue. That may be your some design interventions where you need to again, you know, you need to do some brainstorming. Because most of the, I have seen that the fresh air is not available in most of the prestigious buildings. I think you would be agree that in every building, I would say majority of the building, we have seen that there is centralized air conditioning system, but there is no fresh air. Where in the green building certification, fresh air integration is must. This is what we always say that how the green buildings are beneficial for your health and wellness.
I don't know from where we
Very
should
important.
get fresh air in NCR.
I'll tell you
How would you
if
certify?
I'll tell you if we bring some monitor here and CO2 monitor or IAQ monitoring you start doing, you will be surprised that you know how much CO2 ppm will be here and all the parameters, air quality index. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. Your this mat is also emitting some VOC contents. Even your furniture is also emitting. You know VOC emissions are there. So this is what in the green certification. It's a transformation. It's a transition exercise actually. So it's not every time building new, getting incentive, that's another case. But so much of, you know, we have a built environment, all your green spaces, offices, I'm taking space in some building, I have to do interiors as per the green specification. So very importantly, I need to understand those standards, its applicability. So the matter is that. So I think this is what with your policies like ICICI Bank, Raheja, I know that you people have all projects green. But I'm talking about, you know, just for every builder, or not builder, but facility management companies like Anarock or JLL, Knight Frank, other companies who are operating those buildings. So it is very important O&M functionalities also. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to add one point. So what I agree with what Tripti just said. See, this is about the mentality. You know, how the people are changing, their thought process are changing there. In fact, just giving an example of my company, we have a few green certified ready-mix concrete plants there. And, but we are keep monitoring our water consumption. We are also using doing the recycling of the water, the wastewater there, and consume in the plant with some other activities inside the plant only in all 58 plants there. So nobody is going to ask that whether we need a green certificate. We already get a green certificate for my plant there for the next 2 years. There. But this is a continuous activity and which is the senior management is now monitoring this there. And they are reviewing on the monthly basis that how much recycled water you have used there. So these kind of you know, the thought process is required for everywhere. It is not only on the building material. We are only the building materials, concrete manufacturers there.
Got it.
Because validation of green certification is also, you know, there is a limitation in the time period. It's a 3 years.
Yeah.
So you have to do some consistent efforts, you know, to maintain its greenness and sustainability features.
Absolutely.
So it is not just you take the green certification and for entire life you will say that you are green. No, it is a consistent efforts and continuous improvement in the processes.
Yeah, that is correct because that after you are operating, you have another certification which you need to be renewed on a year, and you will have a third party. It is not like I'm having it green certificate, platinum. Maintaining a platinum is actually another challenge. The old building which is already there without a certification, bringing them to the green certification is another challenge. And making the facility meeting to that requirement also another challenge. So this is the drive from the group, how you wanted to establish yourself into a model what you wanted to demonstrate to the country.
So, Mr. Gupta, when you are pitching for new innovative products to your clients or occupiers, what are the biggest challenges what you face? Is it cost, awareness, trust?
I feel the biggest challenge which the Indian market is facing is the trust. So cost, everywhere it is a cost, everyone is a cost conscious, and I'm just talking about the concrete and these kind of things there. Cost-wise, okay, fine. People are, sometimes managing their performance, yes, managing there. But trust is a major part. Because trust, the challenge from the consultants we are facing, okay, you have a green concrete. You can give us a certificate for that, the concrete, that this is the how much the carbon footprints you are reducing there. We are using the recycled aggregates there. But what would be the long-term performance? Because concrete is not for the 5 years or the 10 years. It is almost at 100 years and 100 years plus there. So what would be the long-term performance there? So that kind of a trust and this is the challenge what we are facing, and we have a solution also for that. We are giving them the the reports, and then we are trying to whatever be the best available things are available, tests are available there. We are doing on that particular products there, and we are submitting them. Yes, this is how we are making. But this is the major, and it may take some another, I think, 4 or 5 years time, that every consultant is accepting, okay, I want the green concrete only. It is hardly matter of whether you are using this, recycled aggregates, recycled water.
Yeah.
So that kind of a challenge.
So in next probably 5 to 10 years, what are those innovative products which you may expect in the market, which can change this perception, or it can make the sustainable products more acceptable? I think this probably goes to all three of you.
Yeah.
You also, Tripti also.
I'm from the concrete, building material concrete, which is almost 70 to 80%. And concrete, I have a rough idea, somewhere around 1,070 tons of concrete per second, the world is consuming. So after water, concrete is the most consumable man-made material in the world there. Definitely, there are lots of researchers going on the cement side there. The new LC3 cement is coming, so lime, clay, calcium.
How that would be different from what we are using now?
So this is a different, because it is going to reduce the overall content of the clinker. Clinker is a major substance which are going to make the cement there. So when we are extract the calcium carbonate from or the limestone from the mines there, and then we burn that one, and we make the concrete cement there, clinker there. Lots of energy is consumed, and lots of carbon footprints are there. So when we are making the concrete and when we are going for that, so if we can reduce that particular thing with a substantial or the other kind of a material which is having a cementitious properties there, then we can reduce the carbon footprints there. So in this particular case, I think more than 70% of the CO2 as compared to the OPC can be saved there. And this is very fast, it is coming there, everyone is working on that. So building material wise, this is the one of the major things are going on. Then lots of other like, the crosslink timbers are coming up, which are going to absorb. Lots of concrete research are going on, which are the carbon neutral or carbon negative there. So they are absorbing the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That kind of research is going on there. So these kind of things are going to be change the overall construction pattern.
That's great to know, actually. Tripti, your view on this?
So just adding to what Nitin is saying, we've heard about a lot of building materials in detail, and thank you for sharing few of these things. Being a developer, even I am finding truly insightful. Just want to add a little about smart solutions that can contribute to wellness and sustainability. For example, bringing in smart sensors across a building to be able to monitor the environment, such as, and Mala spoke about the air quality, the wellness of the occupier. So natural daylighting, the orientation of a building, a lot of biophilic materials as well, like green walls, landscaping, things that make you feel positive, take care of the environment, and automatically boost the productivity and well-being of the building's occupants. These are also a few solutions that one can look at in a developed space that is catering to sustainable and well-being of the occupants.
And that's interesting. I'm just conscious about the time. So something, a last rapid fire question to all of you, probably one or two word answer, Yes. One myth you would like to burn or eliminate about the green buildings? About the green buildings or sustainability. Don't say it out, it is exposed.
Green buildings are expensive, that is a myth.
That's an easier one. That's an easy answer.
Another myth about green buildings is that they are not, they're not benchmarked well in all terms, post-occupation also. I think the more green buildings are coming out now, the post-occupation monitoring is also taking place.
Sir?
I would like to answer it in a different way. What exactly is the sustainability? Sustainability is the social, and environmental, and economical there. So when the sustainability point is coming, so it should fulfill all three circles there. And whatever be the common one, that is the sustainability there. So people have a myth, what Dr. Mala and you said about it, that it is more costly, it is not good for the society there. These kind of things are coming, I'm not talking about the building only, but overall there. So this is how the, the due course of time, if we can properly put the facts in front of the society, that can be changed.
Sure. Senthil?
Sustainable or green is not expense, it is actually investment. So you always have a return on investment. So be top of it.
Got it.
Sustainable buildings are demanded only by MNCs. That's a myth.
Interesting. I think that's a great discussion what we had, and I think I'll open up for the queries from the audience.
Hi. I have one question and one comment actually. My question is to Tripti. You mentioned about investors' perspective. So apart from green building certification, what typical KPIs do an investor ask for when it comes to sustainability? Is it green building certification or design or procurement? What are the key parameters or the key elements which investors look at when it comes to sustainability? And my comment actually was to Abbishek. You were mentioning where do you find fresh air in NCR? I think you should visit Paharpur Business Center in South Delhi.
Oh yes, yes.
They have one of the best plant species which help in bringing fresh air and
yes,
have a microclimate.
That's the only 10,000 square feet available where you can have fresh air.
Yeah, Tripti.
Yes, correct.
So, I mean, when it comes to an investment decision in any asset, I'll answer this question a little broadly. When it comes to the investment decision, it is definitely about the kind of demand, the kind of talent pool, who is this building catering to, what kind of development is it, what is the level of acceptance in the market for this development, who is the developer, what is the credibility, what is the track record, what is the commitment to green building in terms of the kind of design process, the kind of construction commitments by the developer. So all these, and of course, backed and certified by reputed bodies. So all this put together would make into an investment decision. Plus, if there is any kind of pre-commitment as well on a building, that definitely increases the probability of getting an investor in.
I think ESG disclosure, which is the most important now, because that defines the holistic picture of the institution, in terms of environment, social, and economics. All three triple bottom lines are covered in that. So this is what the investors have more influence. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, one thought to share. The challenge today on sustainability is, what is the method or the methodology of retaining the intensity of the color green for the life of the structure, not only the structure, but even for the environment and Mother Earth?
In fact, that's what we were discussing, that, there is no set standard right now. Probably whatever we have discussed right now might not be relevant tomorrow. I think that's what we were
the point brought out is very, very pertinent, especially when you read the news that Gurgaon, what it is going through in waste disposal. I think we all are very, very aware and conscious now that we may have green buildings, but the ecosystem needs to be equally sustainable.
So my answer to you is, it is always consistent efforts, you know, to operate and maintain that building in such a way, so whatever biophilic design component are there, that is being maintained, or if required, you know, it need to be replaced, retrofitted, whatever. So you need to pay the best attention towards sustainability feature of the building throughout. So that if you need to change something, you need to switch off something, you need to phase out some electromechanical equipment. So you need to check on its performance. And there are performance metrics, which is already embedded in the green building standard itself.
It's always a work in progress.
Yeah, one important, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
One important point here is, in the design stage of buildings itself, we need to be now going one step ahead. In India especially, in future years, the groundwater is going to become a huge problem.
Yeah.
Now, are the developers aware of that? Wherever they are making those constructions, what is the underground water situation in that? There are efforts on in India. I met some people who are doing exactly this work, who are able to diagnose which areas are more suitable for sustaining the groundwater for longer time, and which groundwater, underground areas can be treated to ensure that the groundwater remains sustainable. So such things, air, groundwater, all these things have to be very, very well managed, and the overall infrastructure around the building.
See, I just want to add this one because we forget about water. We think that whatever what we seeing actually is water. In fact, the statistics says in the entire world, if it is 77% is air, water and 23 is earth. Out of 23, you are having 68% of fresh water, which is glacier and icebergs, which you cannot use it. And then what you have a 30% is with underground water. And only 1% you are seeing lake, rivers, entire world. And out of that, which is contaminated or you are spoiled due to your industry, 0.03% only you are ready to use fresh water. Out of that 0.03, how much water India is having, I leave it to you to assume. Entire world I'm talking about. So we forget that, okay, water I am having it, I'll take a shower, let it go, and I'm using it. But it is a dot of entire earth what you are wasting today. So we are not bothered. Now we have enough matured on electricity, where you have a renewable energy, solar, wind, turbine, or capsule, nuclear plant, which is going to come for a community like this. So all are, we are okay with that electrical part, even though you on site you are go with data centers, which takes one data center takes almost 50,000 houses of any community. So entire Mumbai need a 4 gigawatts. That data center what we are developing itself actually 4 gigawatts. So we are managing to do with the electrical part. And pollution is not only which is industry is clearing it. And we need to be more careful on how we are going to continue the resource reserve. So water is another aspect which we are also asking, which he has mentioned that how I'll build a building and then leave it for a year, it never happens. Earlier you used 150 liter per person. Now it can go 45. Tomorrow you have it net ground zero. Then you will have 1 mug of water for fill one day. So it is how you are evaluating yourself on a day-to-day basis to save the Mother Earth and save the reservoir we have.
I would have loved to continue this discussion, but probably our time is up.
One last quip, because I'm a defense officer. I was very pleased to see the master stroke of the government as far as the waters of India flowing into Pakistan goes.
I think I would like to say something, because the concept is Harit Bharat. So where, we are talking about Shashwat Vikas, sustainable development. So here the role and contribution from each and every stakeholder of the community, which is important. As a builder or real estate player, what I'm building responsibly, that's important. For an architect, it's important that how I am designing responsibly. Then, as an engineer or whosoever stakeholders are on board, they also, do brainstorming on the green and sustainability aspects. Finally, once the building comes into the operation, it may be single owner occupied or multi-tenant, whatever, any typology. I think it is again a community-driven initiative. The people who are staying in that building, who are operating that building, so how they are also be aware about these concepts and they are competent enough to, they are enabled to operate and maintain all those features efficiently, and they are also adding value day by day in their consistent efforts to maintain the sustainability aspect of the building or its infrastructure or it's a city, you talk about anything. So I think finally we have to see that what I'm contributing to my city, what I'm contributing to my state, and what I'm contributing to my nation to meet these aspirations of becoming net zero. This is what. Thank you so much.
Very well said.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for this
Absolutely
contribution.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. A big, big, big round of applause for all of them. Please, I'll request all my distinguished speakers and moderator to please remain on stage. And in the meantime, I'll request Mr. Bijit Purushothaman, National Head Business Development Everest, to please kindly come up on stage and give away the token of appreciation to our esteemed speakers over here. A big round of applause for Mr. Bijit as well, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Thank you so much to all of you over here who asked questions. Thank you so much for answering the queries as well. Can we have the token of appreciation over here on stage? And once the token of appreciations are given away, we'll do a nice group photograph with all of you together. Yes, we can continue the clapping and appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. Our speakers have shared a lot of wisdom and knowledge for all of us over here. We can certainly acknowledge that to good effect. Thank you. Request all of you to please kindly come forward over here for a nice group photograph. Please, sir, you also be over here. Yes. This is the moment we need to clap and appreciate, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure the smiles will widen up all the way more with all your clapping and appreciation. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing all of you stalwarts and experts the next year as well. Thank you for gracing our event and making it a success from your end. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.